Okay. So back to Brandy, like hearing what Dan been describing, does that resonate with you? Do you have maybe mentors or associations, communities that you rely on that you're a part of or would like to become one?
Well, there's a lot of things that are similar that we do that don't have any good big titles, and we're not doing it en masse, right? Because it sounds like Dan handles a lot more than we do. We're a very small region, and as long as we're on top of the region, there is somebody that makes sure to pay attention and represents us. If I don't want something to happen, like they're changing the fees or they're demanding something I can't comply with, so we need to fight our reasoning before it's law, and now we have to deal with it. I have people in place to do the same kind of thing. Even working with other businesses, there was a time when other companies were getting overwhelmed with calls, but they knew we could handle it. And we were their competition, but they wanted to look like they could handle the calls by sending their people a car, but it'd be a loyal. It was completely against like the typical. However, there became a need where, they would be willing to work with a competitor just so that they could provide good service. So we were almost like, you're respecting that I provide good service. So the same kind of thing has happened where we tried to conjoin with other great businesses. I think that communication and working together is the key. That was my whole pinnacle argument about the taxi, is the taxi was rightfully upset at Uber and it was unfair. And we can't solve that because Uber's already here with money. So what can we do? We can run them out of town because I run a better of what they're doing than they did. And that actually did occur in our area. The Toronto is where the hub is to hire onto Uber. And it used to be in Niagara region, but there weren't enough applying drivers to have everybody come to the region that they've moved the hub to Toronto. And that was around the time when we were like maybe year one, year two. And we weren't doing anything spectacular other than caring. We actually answered it. We had the same people stay for a long time. And I think that's the other big benefit is like, I don't discard people when they have a problem. We'll do dash cams, but they are private contractors for Loyal. We do not have employees. So since all of the work is on you, all of the risk is on you, I will additionally help you get customers. I will additionally support and manage so that the company itself looks great, but my operators are in complete responsibility for whatever it is that we have to comply with. You need a TNC license. You got to come in for a safety every 6 months because your kilometers are immense. Whatever it is that they demand of us, you must comply with. And my job is just to make sure that you keep complying. And I work with we have Merrittville Speedway. We do all kinds of sponsorships. We've gone on 97.7 and made, ads for advertising, but we also support like Grape and Wine. So when small community events happen and everybody gets together and travels from Niagara on the Lake all the way to Port Colborne, we've got our drivers aware in advance. We are going to be busy and you're going to be handling a lot of people going to this event, and I want you to be on top of it. We monitor in the same aspect where we really love that if a driver says that they were there on time, I could look very quickly and say, you might have swiped to arrive, but I see that you're on Ferry Street and that's not the pickup address. So no, you weren't on time. And then we can hold them accountable, which helps them do better in the future. And unlike Uber, I didn't just cancel their app because they lied to me. I help them understand that we can monitor. I help them understand that if you need and somebody's saying something's happening, we have the right to listen to the customer and you have the right to record. So where's your dash cam if you didn't do these things? The taxi is sounding, or the system that Dan provides sounds like they're a little more on top of it with their information, which is good. But for me, I find the only time the information is valuable is when it is causing an issue and I have to respond, because otherwise everything seems to be going well. And I'm very vocally like in presence where if you wanted to complain to the owner, you can send your complaints. People Google review, they are happy to tell you what sucks. So if it sucks, I know about it. And if it does, then I have a job to do to find out who's telling the truth. And the machine definitely, it assists. It assists both that I can listen to both parties. I can see what actually happened on paper, so to speak, but it's a computer. But, I can see the facts in front of me. And it's really assisted us having these systems. I think I would love to do more of, those meetings again, like when I was in person in Niagara. My representatives are just one person and not an entire bunch of people. I have a small group of managers that are respected people that I ask advice, even though I kind of know where I'm going. I want to hear you say that that's a good idea because, maybe I'm wrong and you're really physically there. Maybe something's changed that I've missed. I like to be involved so that I know what you know by listening as well. But the groups and the systems, it sounds very complex, but usable. I mean, what we can do when I ask David to check over everybody's their ignored rate. Like you already have an algorithm that's changing whether they get more or less if they have a bad ignore rate. But I kind of want to know why you're on the app ignoring calls. So me having a system that shows me that month, the 10 worst, I can have a conversation with their performance and why are you like, what is the reason you'll be online, see a need while you're at work and then just ignore it and let it pass you by? This is excessive. So I like having the systems to be able to do that. And yeah, maybe some more formative groups would be better for us, but we're small. So I feel like we slowly learn by hearing, oh, that's a good idea. I should probably be doing that.
Okay. I think that, well, basically we need to wrap it up because we are already at the end of the hour. I was like, basically I had planned some more questions, but we'll leave them out. And one of the questions was, what's next? But let me answer it for all of us here. The next would be hopefully us all meeting at Mobilize next month in Las Vegas, and we could discuss more of the ideas and trends and news and plans and what so. We also have two questions that were posted in our Q&A session of the chat. If you need to apologize, but I will ask those questions because well, I think one is for me, the other one is for Brandy. We will ask those questions and we will send answers to your mails, guys, so that we don't keep everybody too long on this Friday night. And with that, let me say one more time, guys, thank you so much for dedicating that time to talk to me and to answer some questions that we've prepared and our partners prepared, and making it such a cozy, engaging, and inspiring experience for hopefully everyone who was with us today here. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Fridays. Have a wonderful weekend. The kitty is actually absolutely adorable.
She couldn't stop herself. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Uh,
Thank you. Appreciated it. See
Thank
y'all in
you.
Vegas.
See you in
Yeah.
Vegas. Thank